Let me bring you to a small sneak peek to the life of Aditya Burman.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to ask a little different question.
Please.
See, everybody's into quick commerce and e-commerce and selling all FMCG products on that.
Yeah. We do very well there, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, because everybody wants something at the last minute. But also there's a price race. I mean, when there's a price war, because sometimes people say that, okay, say we want this. Again, it comes down to your brand value. But if somebody, they also have their markups, all the e-commerce companies.
Right.
So how do you reverse backwards and manage to keep the quality, yet beat the competitors and yet the markups and the margins they want?
So for us, see, I'll tell you, Angie, Dabur has always been a maker of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right? What does that mean? That means we work with distributors, we work with stockists, we work with retailers. These are all entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right? We think an entrepreneur is somebody who has a startup. A guy who starts a store, a kirana shop in a village, that's an entrepreneur.
Yes, of course.
And the majority of India is that kind of entrepreneur.
Yes.
Somebody who has taken their savings, has taken a loan, has gone out there, put themselves out there, started a store, everything from there to somebody who says, I'm going to supply people like that. So the distributors. So we have always created entrepreneurs.
That's what I meant to say. These are the real world entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Not just a startup.
These are not the funding entrepreneurs or the unicorn entrepreneurs.
So that's what I was, that's the point. Yes. So that's what I'm saying, that there's a talk of startups and there's a new word and everyone's talking of, but that's a piece of paper and that guy's actually real. He may not be really big.
Exactly.
But whatever he's done, he's actually done something.
In aggregate, they are huge.
Yes.
Right? India is still one of the most fragmented markets. Why? Because entrepreneurs like that are very good at what they do. They're not easy to take over.
Yes.
But you had asked me a question on how do we deal with margins. So we've been sharing margins across with folks since we were around, right? And that's a big part of it. If you don't work with your distributors, if you don't...
That's how the network grows.
Absolutely. We've got a distributor meet coming up and we're all going to be there and it's going to be, it's going to be fantastic because these are people who work with us.
Right.
Sure, there is a transactional relationship, but there is the folks that have been with us for over 50 years. I mean, that's more than my life. That's older than I am, So that's an amazing thing. So so we've created entrepreneurs on the front end and we're happy to share.
Actually, they are the real startups also.
Absolutely.
That was not the keyword earlier, but now they are the real guys.
Putting in the jargon always makes it seem more fancy, but those have been startups in India since, time immemorial.
Yes.
And this is, we always share the value. With people, and that's how it works on that side. On the other side, we've created entrepreneurs in the supply side, right? We, some 60+%, 65+% of India's honey is from us. Yeah. So that doesn't just mean it comes out of thin air. We have to get that from bee boxes that are sitting all around the country, and it has to somehow come into our facilities at the right conditions. It has to get processed properly. It has to get filtered. It has to get checked for quality to make sure there's no adulteration. All these things, it has to be bottled properly and then it has to be sent out. So, everything, and we've worked, we've worked with thousands of beekeepers.
Yeah, exactly.
Thousands of beekeepers. Everybody, everywhere.
These are also entrepreneurs in their own little way. Because,
absolutely. Yes. So a farmer who's there, who's been on this ancestral land, 3 generations, when we help them put up bee boxes, beehives, it's a whole new revenue stream for them. And they have to learn, it's difficult. See, I think sometimes in the modern world, we find it's a little easy to learn something. Well, you pick up a book, you read about it, you go on the internet.
Yes.
What if you can't read?
Yes.
Right? What if that's the initial challenge? Well, if that's a challenge, well, then you're out of luck. So a lot of on-ground training, a lot of working with NGOs, a lot of working directly with farmers, villagers. We've done a lot. As a matter of fact, we work with some 12,000 plus farmers across the country.
Right.
Amazing. What an experience. And we train them up on how to grow endangered species. So Dabur is actually a custodian of India's biological heritage. I like to call it that.
Yes,
basically,
of course.
we have jadi booties that go into our products, which are which are endangered in that sense,
Right.
so they're not endangered to a point where you can't get it, but it's to a point where it has to be protected, right? It has to be very responsibly collected.
Right.
So we've been working with the authorities over many decades to ensure that these things remain where they are.
Do you work with the government as well on
Oh,
this?
absolutely, yes.
So
we have to.
which are the sectors or which ministries do you
So
work
there's
with?
the biodiversity, there's Ayush, there's the forestry, and in a lot of
Agriculture?
times, absolutely,
Of course.
we work with but see, that's where the output comes. But where a lot of this is, so for instance, we've got, there's certain things which are on tribal land.
Right.
Now, how do you deal with that? Right? So you have to work with the tribal communities to figure out, because you see, if they just go and chop one thing down and say, here, take everything, you say, well, where's the rest of it? Now there isn't any more. So you have to teach people to be very, very careful how to make sure to leave things, to make sure you don't over harvest from the wild. Another thing we did was we actually said...
So that's educating them.
Absolutely, huge amount of education.
That's a large part of educating, and that has been going on for generations as well.
Literally. And the other thing that we've done is we've taken a lot of these things, and because of our science, that we back everything with science. We have a beautiful facility in Saibabad where we do a lot of science.
You see, in today's world, what's happening, it's becoming a little, I personally feel, it's not a little unreal. Robots and AI and plastic and e-commerce, but what you're talking is actually the real world, because how do you get the bee boxes? How do you get the bee boxes? How do you get the jari booties? How do you see the process continues? It's not a one-time transaction. How that is the real world.
Absolutely.
And that is what people need to know India is capable of and is taking globally. And that's what it takes. It's not just an e-commerce transaction.
Yeah, it's not drop shipping, right?
Yes.
So we take things from the wild, we cultivate them in very refined environments.
Right.
We grow, for instance, small plant cuttings into seedlings. Seedlings go into our greenhouses where they're hardened. From the greenhouses, they go out into the field with the farmers, and we train people how to do this. And it's not that we say, hey, look, you've got 1 acre, cut down your acre of whatever you're growing and then grow this. We say, look, you've got area around the sides, we'll teach you how to grow it there. So this is all supplemental income.
Yes.
Right? We don't encourage anybody to take more than a certain amount of their field if they are going to.
Yes.
Right? So we don't, if somebody says, I want to do the whole field, we say, please don't.
Just
right?
do
It should be a supplemental income.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. At the end of the day, you got your bread and butter, and then
you have that's
exactly.
Yeah, yes.
So again, responsibility is a big part of it.
And how many families? Maybe it's a bit too much in detail to ask this question. How many families, by and large, would be involved in this process to help Dabur get, whether it's your honey and whether it's the ghee and whether it's the day-to-day food which we all live, and because that's generating employment and entrepreneurship, and showing that India is growing even at those levels. It's not only in the levels which the world talks about.
In terms of beekeepers, I'll give you as a percentage. I'm not sure of the number, but we definitely impact probably 80% of the beekeepers in India.
Okay.
I mean, that's huge. Because at some point they're transacting with us. There are some people that don't transact with us, they sell locally, etc. But, at some point it comes in, okay, maybe not 80, maybe say a little less, 70, 60,
yeah, that's
something
okay.
like this. But it's a large number.
It's a large number.
In terms of farmers, there's a lot of farmers which are growing things which are more the commodities, as you were saying earlier.
Right.
You got people growing millets and rice and this and that. So these are things that Dabur doesn't really use in its. We don't package commodities and sell that. But you have those guys, and we don't really interact with them too much, other than in case any of their products go into any of our products.
Right.
But everybody else, and even out of them, growing things around the edge of the fields, making sure that because a lot of the plants are sometimes vines, right? So there'll be a tree in the field, and this vine will say, okay, cool, now you got the vine on the tree,
right?
And from there we can do the harvest and things like this,
right?
So you don't necessarily need the same trough that they're putting in their their usual vegetables and things.
Yes.
So we do that. I mean, I wish I've thought about this a lot. I know that you have our entire supply side, all the farmers, beekeepers, You have people doing all the transport, logistics, all of the warehousing, all of those things, and even processing to a large degree. I mean, the amount of mint, as an example, mint is a very fragmented industry in India, and it's very seasonal, right? So people have to know. So again, making sure that you're in touch with everybody, making sure that it's coming to you. So a huge number of people are affected on the supply side. And then on the front side, we discussed, the entire distribution, retail, logistics, again, warehousing, all those things.
So this helps in also giving a lot of employment as well, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, huge amount.
Absolutely.
And also getting the entrepreneurial spirit into different states where all these products and the raw, the raw jerry booty or the the honey is made and all comes from rather the bees boxes and all that. So coming back to now, you've given me this new light. Of course, I knew this is the back end process, but since I'm not from your industry, as you know, I'm from the interior world, I realize that do people realize that we all talk of the Amazons and the Flipkarts and the e-commerce, without all this they are not possible.
Right, absolutely.
Simple and clear. There's no, if what you are doing and what maybe few of your other competitors or
we call them colleagues, it's all right.
In the same industry are doing, without the back end process, e-commerce and quick commerce cannot function, cannot work.
Absolutely.
And if you don't deliver on time, and if you don't have your backup plans, and you don't have any things, whether the cold storage, the logistics, nothing getting bad, damaged, they can't function. So the startups are only focusing on those models. But if these models fail, how can those models be successful?
So companies like ours started off and this ecosystem was formed because of that. But now other companies can take advantage of that ecosystem, right? So if somebody wants to get honey, right, they don't have to go far afield. There are people who will aggregate honey and bring it to you. If you want, but again, we've worked with these folks for so many years, right? That we have a great relationship with them, and because we are such a large part of the honey market, right, people prefer to work with us. Now there's some people that say, okay, I only take honey and I only export it, and I only take honey and it's only a single source honey and stuff, and great, but that's a very niche area to be in, right? We also have, by the way, Dabur's now got multiflora honey, Himalayan multiflora, as well as Sundarbans honey. Delicious. I personally love the original honey, Dabur honey, in the squeezy bottles and all of that. We tried to be contemporary with all that, but the flavor is the flavor. But yeah, even this Sundarbans one, wow, it actually has it's very distinct. It's very nice. Right. So these, so you have this ecosystem that's formed. Now other people are taking advantage of that, which is good for everyone, really. It keeps that thing building. So now I'm going to come to, you've also diversified into something new, which is home care. And so can you tell me a little more on what that you're doing? So home care, it's been there for a little bit. It's not super new, but it is now coming a lot more into focus. Yes, everyone's talking about it now. And you've got home ownership in India, which is going up significantly. You have, for instance, loans being given out for people to buy new homes. Developers are building up homes which are actually getting delivered. Fantastic, amazing. So the ecosystem is really growing for home ownership. And in doing so, modern materials, pehle to, it was very simple. The homes were very simple. Now everybody wants nice white walls and ceilings, and they want clean surfaces and, something specific for marble, something for tile. So we have, this is become
a thing. So this is a new
and we've got, everything from stuff to clean the sanitary ware, surface cleaners, in terms of mosquito repellents. We do
so it's
a lot
full
of work
service.
on that. Absolutely, as well as we do what we call air care. So on the consumer side, it's hair care, and on this side, it's air care. So we have Odonil. Which is a massive success. Yes.
Everyone's heard of it.
Absolutely. It's the de facto thing to make freshen up the room, freshen up the air as well. Right. We've done some very interesting stuff over there, to get rid of smoke as well and things like this. So we've gone that extra mile. Right. But yeah, home care is something that I think is going to grow because home ownership is going to grow in India, and we see that happening a lot.
Right. Yeah. And also in healthcare, are you doing anything like
everything.
Lots of things. So can you elaborate on those? I know
Absolutely.
they're doing a lot of things in that as well.
Yes.
Also, you've started a store called New You.
That's been there for a while, actually.
But it's getting more popular now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, so New Year is a great, it's beauty products. We've got about 100 stores around the country, and we work with all the top brands. It's a great setup.
You have pretty much what Nykaa and everyone else has in your stores as well.
That's right. We are offline primarily in the stores. We also have an online presence with New You, the website.
Yes.
And yeah, it's going well. Of course,
Yes.
Other people have done very well in this space, and that's very heartening to see because gives a good
You all were the
platform.
original ones there from before. But as I said, it's once you have the base and the sound system of getting it all, the supply chain, then it's very easy to get into retail and spread the wings.
But I'll tell you, retail's a tough gig. Retail's a tough gig because your baseline is always paying that rent on time,
right? Yes.
Paying those salaries on time. After that comes making any money.
Yes.
And retail is a tough gig. As we've seen, retail is picked up hugely in India, modern retail. But it's
tough till you don't break even. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because the real estate cost is very high.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I diverted the topic by default. We were talking about healthcare.
Yes.
And yes.
So we've done a lot in healthcare actually. So before, if the first way we did it was, okay, here is the granth. These are the recipes. I need to get the best raw materials, process them in the best way, package them in the best way with all the information to make sure that it's sterile, to make sure that it doesn't go bad. We need to get it out to people so that they can use it, right? So this is your standard Ayurvedic medicine background. This is how we started. Now, there is so much history that has gone in and so much knowledge that has been built up with Dabur and DRDC, our research, DRF, our other research arms. So we have a lot of effort that has gone into all of this. And now we are able to intelligently design products, right? So anything in our wellness space, the modern supplements and things like this, these are all very intelligently designed with a lot of back-end knowledge and experience in there.
Right.
I'll give you an example, right? Take ashwagandha, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows ashwagandha.
Yes.
Everybody's like, ashwagandha is the stuff. And it's great stuff, right? There's a lot more beyond the jar, right? So for us, we don't just make sure that it is ashwagandha that comes in, right? Because sometimes it's not.
Right.
So what goes into whatever capsule somebody's selling, they better be sure that that is ashwagandha in there. Fair enough. Okay, so let's say that somebody does have it.
Right.
Do they know what the quality of that ashwagandha is? Right? So we do genetic analysis.
Yeah.
We do pollen analysis. We do activity analysis. So we look for the active compounds and their levels. We look for all the quality parameters in the finalized product after it's been made. Of course, making sure that the whole manufacturing process is done really well.
Right.
So the idea is that we have multiple layers of checks. A lot of what people do nowadays, which is something which I think is a little disingenuous to the industry. If they do it well, fantastic, have at it. Right. Everybody deserves their right to go for a great product. You should make a great product if you know how.
Right.
But a lot of what people are doing is saying that, listen, I know how to make a pretty bottle, I know how to make a nice website, I know how to push it online, right? So what's in it is what's in it. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Just, So again, I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's just that whoever does this, they should have that level of care and quality to ensure that what they're giving. So it doesn't mess with everybody else. It shouldn't mess with people's ability to believe that it works. Ashwagandha in India is a massive usage, but if you see what's happening in the West, it's picked up like crazy. And so we're working with Ayush, which is such an amazing ministry, and they have so forward. It's amazing how they've really thought of this well. We're working with them. One of the biggest problems, they say Ayurveda is not possible in the West. You know what one of the biggest problems is?
Why?
They don't actually know what's in it. When we say they don't know what's in it, we can tell them what's in it. But we say, okay, let's say that here's a product and has 35 different things in it. Their system of medicine doesn't even know how to deal. They don't know how to deal with, let's say, 7 or 8 of them. They're like, what is this? Even if we tell them, there is no way for them to allow it in because it's not in their system of classification, their pharmacopoeia. right? Whereas for over here it is. So now what Ayush is doing, which is fantastic, is actually getting these things registered with all the data and everything, so that when we go there and say these are our supplements, these are our products, they say, oh, all the ingredients, we know what they are. So when you think about it, it's not that whether a doctor likes it or whether people it's nothing to do with that. It's that you're literally not able to make a claim because the thing inside it, people don't know what it is. They have no way of classifying it. So you got to start at a very baseline level, and that's something that I think Ayush is doing fantastically well.
Okay.
And that's going to help all companies when it goes.
So what are your vision of taking Dabur forward and the way you look at it in the next 10 years, globally and in India?
Well, look, it's first of all, it's all a team effort. I'm the only one in my generation working at the moment. Everybody else is sort of chacha and above. And so I'd say, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants whatever I do.
Yes, of course.
Huge legacy, a lot of effort has gone in, a lot of massive knowledge, and a lot of effort. So, but yeah, what do I see? I think our focus on scientific validity, look, I'm a scientist, right?
Of course.
So I'll talk from the science angle of things.
Yes.
I think I speak the language of scientists globally, right? We have publications, we do scientific rigor, we do peer review, all these things. This is how I grew up. This is what we learned. Right? This is how we live, and what we do in our healthcare businesses, right? In healthcare services and all. But in Dabur, right, I believe that that's going to be a key component of what takes us ahead in the healthcare field. India for the world, right? India for the world always. I totally believe that. Right. And I believe Indian Ayurveda, the systems of Ayush for the world, nothing like it. It's already started with ashwagandhas and the neem. Somebody tried to take turmeric and patent it. India said, heck no. So there's all this stuff going on. And that's when I think people woke up and said, no, this is not happening. We're taking the front position as a country. And from the country, who better to kind of help lead the charge. We're not the only ones. Right? We don't claim to be. There are so many amazing people doing amazing work out there. But I think the ability to curate that, to put it into something which is acceptable to the rest of the world in the language the rest of the world understands, is important. Traditional medicine has always been kind of, for the lack of a better word, poo-pooed around the world. They say, oh, what is this? This juju, it's this stuff that we don't understand. It's all herbs but let's be honest, there's a reason for that, right? In the Wild West, when in the early parts of the US, there were a lot of snake oil salesmen. There were people out there selling, hey, we've got this and that and the other, and it was just stuff that was mixed, and it caused a lot of problems. So people learned to distrust people with concoctions. What they, because a lot of people, I wouldn't say nobody, I'm sure somebody had some idea back then, but most of them had no idea what they were doing, and they were causing a lot of harm. Right? That's the thing. People think that if it's Ayurvedic, if it's herbal, it can't cause harm. No, these are medicines, right? And of course, some of them are for wellness and all that. Those are very good for you. But like any medicine, things can cause you harm if it's taken improperly. Right? So people need to know that, and so doing things that are improper messes with people's viewpoints on things. But I'm very, very sure that the way we look at things and show things, that people will understand it, for sure.
So now the new thing is, of course, we've talked of online, we've talked of quick commerce, e-commerce. How are you going to integrate AI and robots in the FMCG and the healthcare and all the different various business verticals that Dabur has and you have as an individual portfolio?
So yeah, look, robotics, if you're talking warehousing, you're talking all of those things, these things have been fairly standard for a lot of years. We've got great, massive facilities with a lot of, with a lot of automation ingrained. So I think that that's something that's been there for a while, if you're talking on the robotics. In terms of AI, see, AI for the sake of AI, as in, we're coming up with the next LLM, the next large language. No, that's not what Dabur does. Dabur's been using AI across its systems, right? So whether we want to pack our trucks more efficiently, right? whether we want to plan our routes more efficiently, whether we want to look at sales patterns and look at seasonalities, and how that plays into sales patterns and things like this, so we can have better predictability on our production cycles. These are things where AI come in very handy, and again, these things have been used for a while. So when you're talking about we've already been doing a lot of stuff, but going forward, I think a lot of effort again is going into how to integrate ancient forms of medicine, so traditional medicine, with AI, right? And I think that a beautiful thing on this is that these large language models have become very good at explaining things. Right? They can put it at any level. Explain this at a level of a professor, or explain this at the level of a 5-year-old. It can change it to do that, which I think is fantastic. It can also change languages, right? So if you want to explain something to somebody in Hindi, in Malayali, in Punjabi, in Bengali, you can do that now. English, German, whatever, doesn't make a difference. So the same thing can be spread across rather than just hitting a translate button or having somebody sitting there in their own way translating it and everything's unique. I think it makes a big difference to be able to use these kind of things. So knowledge dissemination is going to be huge. And that's really, we're doing a lot of that stuff with Ayurveda and the products that we make. Makes a big difference.
Most of the food and the FMCG products are all home driven, a large, not all of them, but quite a large number. So do you promote and support women entrepreneurship, and how does it give women more employment or opportunities?
Oh, absolutely. We've done programs where we do training for beauticians. As an example, we have Gulabari as a brand. We've got
the rose
Vatika
water,
as a
of
brand.
course. The Dabur rose water is the best.
Beautiful.
It's
so
the best.
Good.
I've been using it since the last 20 years.
An interesting thing. Do you know that rose water was actually used in ophthalmic purposes for eyes? Not just for wiping the tops of the eyes, inside the eyes. I don't recommend people do it now, of course. Right.
Yes.
But the fact is that rose water initially was, before you had any kind of saline to clean it out, they needed something which was so antiseptic. So roses is beautiful, and we've been working with roses for a long time. Gulabari is synonymous with roses. Beautiful. We do some amount of stuff in terms of that, but again, that's more.
That's
a small thing.
Small thing, yes.
We have entire units of ours which are completely manned by
women.
Are womaned. I should say, not manned. That was entirely wrong. But they're entirely run by women. And of course, see, I think women empowerment is a huge thing, but it starts very basically. If you look at some of the initiatives that we've done through our CSR and through some of our own activities, we have something called 700 se 7 kadam.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's 700 steps to 7 steps, where we have built thousands of toilets across India. Now, you say that, yes, of course.
I think very few people must be knowing about this. As I said, your family and you don't talk much about all these.
We tend not to.
And all that
we tend not to. There's a couple of other little surprises, I'm sure I'd be able to tell. But so 700 se 7 kadam was a huge thing. Building toilets so that people, not just women, don't have to go into the fields, right? But it actually benefits women more than it benefits men, right, in the villages. There are dangers of women going out by themselves. There are, and that also kind of, it helps with that that confidence, knowing that, look, I don't have to put myself in danger by going out, to use the loo, and so you have something there. So we've done a lot of things which actually help women in that way.
Okay.
Another, again, like I said, these are for everybody, but it works with women more than it works for women more than it works for others, perhaps even children.
So great. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And letting us all know so many new things which none of us knew. And of course, a new vision, a new way of taking Dabur forward. of course, Dabur and the family has always and already made India proud. That's why I was really keen to have you and the Dabur family on my show.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much. I'm going to give you a small gift from my
very, very kind.
It's a home decor online
Thank
and
you
furniture
so
app.
very much.
So I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will. Everything
Yes.
that you do and make is always awesome.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
And I'm really, really happy you came today and I had you on today.
Thank you for having me.